since we have planned this event some times ago, and it seems a lot has happened in the world since then, or so it seems, certainly for some people, for certain parts of the world. And it almost feels as if it's fitting to begin with something which will also be a politically correct statement to address any public gathering today. So it feels almost as if we want to state this, that we stand with Ukrainians. So I'm almost certain that this is the right way to say. Or is it? Hence, this is going to be a very special broadcast where we will allow ourselves maybe to go out of the theme a little bit. Because as soon as I said we stand with Ukrainians, I think it will be fair to say we stand with all people who are being aggressed at this very moment. All nations, all individuals. So it means that we will have to say we stand with Palestinians, we stand with people of Yemen, with people of Syria, and we can continue this list. And also the reverse is true, that when we say we stand with Ukrainians or with Palestinians, we have to be honest about this first and foremost. Do we really stand? Or is this just somehow responsibility absolving, guilt absolving statement, which somehow positions us in where the prevalent consensus tend to give us that what you should stand with, where you should stand. I'm not going to go into the polemics of the philosophy of it all, but let us face it right now, right here, at least I'm speaking, when I look deep into my heart, that no such statement can be said, because we don't stand with Ukrainians. Ukrainians are standing on their own, literally, and also at a subtle level of affairs. Nor do we stand with Palestinians, nor do we stand with any other group of people or nations who are now being assaulted by aggression. So let us first acknowledge the gravity of the situation with that honest introspection, that up until we stand in our own sovereignty of who we are, all these talks about standing with someone is nothing more than either a politically correct statement or some kind of taking upon ourselves emotional responsibility, which again has the danger of sweeping under the carpet the complexity, the nuances, the subtlety, and with that, any possibility of actually standing where we want to stand. So this will serve us as that improvised intro, that in order to stand with anyone, we have to realize that first and foremost, we stand here alone, always alone. It's the existential affair of standing and facing one's own self. And if we can do that with all the sincerity, with all the dedication, maybe, just maybe, we will be able to stand with the Palestinians and with the Ukrainians of this world, with the Ukrainians of today. Maybe we will also stand with those who are taking upon themselves the role of the aggressor, because that also would then necessitate our emotional compass to admit that this tragedy affects all of us in equal measure. So, yes, it's tempting and more than just tempting. We are always swept off our feet to take a certain position. So instead of standing with someone, we are wobbling with someone. And this is where I want to point your attention from get-going, that the very nature and the essence of this work that we do here is to first and foremost to stand as consciousness. If we can stand, each and everyone in our own right, as consciousness, we can perhaps become the very pillar of that light and the pillar that can support and truly stand with anyone. This should serve a much needed reminder in times of havoc, in times of confusion, in times of disinformation, in times when, as someone said, rightly so, the first casualties of war is truth. I don't remember whom these words are attributed, but it is beside the point. What suffers first and foremost is that what we consider to be true whenever there is an open conflict, because everything from there on begins to get polarized, fragmented, further pushed asunder, further pushed against each other, further disturbing the situation. And the closer we come to that where the argument is being held, where the battlefield is being held, the less the possibility there is to actually see things straight. So therefore, this seems to be, to me, fitting to begin this online gathering dedicated to the nature and essence of this work as far as our live programs are concerned, with this reminder of what is going on in terms of the underlying state of affairs when it comes to us, human beings here on the planet at this moment in time when we are faced with challenges, perhaps of enormous proportion. Whether our predecessors have been faced with similar challenges is a matter of speculation. Whether we are better placed to face these challenges is also a matter of speculation. What seems to me left here to hang on to and hold on to is more than ever to one's own evolution, so as to become an assistance to any process whatsoever, wherever that process may be, wherever that process is, be it a process that needs a successful creative resolution, or whether that process happens to be a deep, deep wound of a conflict. If we are not fully tending to whom we are right here, right now, each and every one of us, independently from what is going on around us, then we are floating on the surface of affairs, subjected to myriad of waves, some of which are of the level of the hurricane and the level of cataclysmic events, and this is a recipe for causing even more harm than good when we come to the rescue of others when we haven't really tended to our own selves.